Welcome to the ARC Advisory Podcast, where we explore the intersection of technology, digital transformation, and sustainable practices. In today's episode, we're diving into the fascinating world of industrial AI, and more specifically, applications of computer vision in the industrial AI toolset. I'm here today with Larry O'Brien, and I am Colin Masson. I neglected to introduce myself. I'm the Research Director for Industrial AI at ARC. Great. Looking forward to this conversation, Larry.
Hi. Thanks for having me here today. I look forward to talking about it. Great.
Let's tackle the fundamental concept of computer vision. I know that when I went to Hannover Messe, a few months ago, I saw lots of examples of using video and applying AI. It was probably the most realistic or the most scale adoption of AI that I actually saw at Hannover Messe. There was lots of examples of generative AI, but they were mostly proof of concept. They still delivering value in the respect that they were making it easier to find documentation, or they were kind of assisting somebody and kind of ramping up on some complex software. But if I had to say what I thought was probably the real scale application of AI in a set of industrial use cases, it was computer vision. And we kind of included it in ARC's definition of industrial AI as one of the tools tools and techniques for AI that you should be using. But I want to ask you, how are you defining computer vision?
I'm glad to hear you say that, although I didn't make it to Hanover this year. I've been many times in the past, but I'm glad to hear you say that computer vision was this huge, AI-based application at the fair, because I see exactly the same thing. So let's start with a brief definition of computer vision, right? Because maybe not everybody knows what we mean when we say computer vision. And that's really any kind of visual input that's going to go into a computer, right? A lot of people use the term machine vision. I personally think that's a little more limited to, inspection applications and, things coming off an assembly line, traditional machine vision. But some people call it machine vision. Some people call it computer vision. It's really just computerizing any kind of video or optical kind of input to me, right? And whether that's, closed circuit TV or infrared cameras, tons of different types of video-related input and sensing-based technologies are out there. It's become one of the most active areas for applying analytics and industrial AI today. Because it is so ubiquitous. They are ubiquitous, ranging from pure manufacturing applications, like I just mentioned with traditional machine vision and inspection, to things like worker safety, right? You want to make sure your workers have PPE on, when they go into certain areas and so forth. So we use video to determine that. We have video surveillance and perimeter protection and things like asset management, right? We have video cameras trained on key assets to determine if there's any abnormal behavior and lots of other functions. The combination of computer vision with the fast-moving field of AI, right, and analytics seems to be kind of a natural for a lot of suppliers and also for a lot of end users right now. And that's why we're seeing so many opportunities out there and so many new applications right now. It really is one of the primary use cases, not just for AI and analytics, but also for digital transformation strategies, right? For many users, this is the application that they will start on. We want to do some more intelligent video analytics. But however, as I'm sure you also saw at Hanover, there are a lot of suppliers out there doing this, right? Many suppliers are kind of niche and they're doing it in certain areas and certain applications. And we have a whole spectrum of suppliers from the very niche to the, we can offer you AI and video analytics no matter what your camera is or, what kind of sensors you're using or what have you. So that makes it a little more complicated. What I'd like to talk about today is I do want to talk about, the use cases and the technologies and stuff, but I also want to talk about the different types of suppliers, that are part of this landscape. because it is a wide, and varied and very, suppliers that are coming from very different areas, let's put it that way. And some of them are branching out into other areas, and, some are more remaining within their niche. So we'll talk a little bit about that later. The other thing I'd like to talk about is just how every manufacturer has to deal with multiple kinds of video or computer inputs and measurements. These traditional applications have lasted for many years, so trying to identify use cases can be a challenge too. So I do want to talk about, what some of those key use cases are and what the expected benefits are. Analytics, these can be applied to just about anything, and we're seeing it. Really what we're seeing is the pattern recognition capabilities of AI, right? The ability to go through huge amounts of imagery and be able to pick out, that one thing that maybe you need to work on, or that one asset that's about to fail. That's where I think in general, that's where a lot of the value of AI comes in, is that ability to do pattern recognition through, huge volumes of data that are out there. So.